Welcome back to Tahoe Tonight. I'm glad you're with us this evening. With me now in the studio from Fortress Credit Pro, it's Rondi Lambeth. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks so much for having me on today.
Well, thanks for coming in this evening. We got a lot to talk about.
Yes,
It's
we do.
Like the Christmas season, people getting out credit cards left and right.
Yep.
And a lot of times that can be overwhelming come January.
Absolutely. You know, and what you do with your credit cards this month is going to could affect your credit score over the next 6 to 12 months.
Wow.
And so we just got to make sure that you don't overspend. If you do overspend, you got to make sure you get that taken care of. And today I'd like to talk about, what the banks and the government and the elites don't want us to know about our credit. A lot of people think that if you have bad credit, you're stuck with bad credit forever.
Yeah, like
right?
it's a monkey on your back forever once you have that bad credit, it seems like.
And it's really not true. It's not true. Bad credit is a choice. And the reason I say bad credit is a choice is because you can choose to have good credit, you can choose to have bad credit. Because there's companies out there that can help clean things up. And it's because the banks and credit bureaus, they just make mistakes. They make mistakes because they make money from it. And our government and our banks for the last 100 years have been changing our history books, changing the way we're taught in school. They want us to be employees. They want us to be really slaves to the government. Dependent on the government. And so they teach you to go to school, get good grades so you can go to college and get a good job and then work for 40 years, right? Mm-hmm. And why do they want you to work for 40 years? So you pay taxes. A good example of this is the Lone Ranger. You know, I remember when I was a kid, I'd watch those reruns.
Oh,
do you ever watch that?
Oh, yeah.
Black and white Lone Ranger and Tonto. And
it's good TV.
It was good TV.
It's good.
And the Lone Ranger was the hero. You know, he rode his white horse and he caught all the bad guys and he wore costumes and all that stuff, right? Unfortunately, the Lone Ranger, the real Lone Ranger, was a black man named Bass Reeves. He'd had over 8,000 felony arrests. And the government and the banks and the elites in Hollywood didn't want to portray a black man as a hero. And so they changed our history books. Bass Reeves was the most successful lawman of all times. No one's ever come close to, even today, 100 years later, still has not come close to arresting as many people as him. And he did this, and he lived with the Indians, and he worked the Oklahoma Territory, and he wrested all this. Now, how does that tie into credit?
Yeah.
Right?
I'm fascinated. I'm chasing the rabbit with you. I'm totally into this. Keep going.
Our government in 1913 got together with the banks, and then in 1933 changed the rules on us and made it to where the Federal Reserve, which is not federal, has no reserves, could issue money. And then the government would pay them interest on fake money, on fiat money. And then they control our credit. And so what they want us to believe is that bad credit, it's a life sentence. You can't delete a bankruptcy, foreclosure, collection, judgment, short sale. That's not true. All of those items can be fixed. In fact, every single item that can be put on a credit report can be taken off a credit report by simply knowing how to get it removed. And, over the last 12 years, I've helped thousands and tens of thousands of people fix their credit. And if you go, for example, the government doesn't want you to know you can fix it. You go to the federaltradecommission.gov, it'll say right there, don't hire a professional to fix your credit. You can do it on your own. Can you imagine if you had a toothache?
Overwhelming.
And you go there and it says, don't hire a dentist, you can pull your own tooth. Right?
We could talk about this all day long. I love this. Man, oh man, we're out of time. Badcreditisachoice.com to get more information. Thanks for stopping by this evening.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Come back and see us soon.
All right.
More Tahoe Tonight coming up next.